what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. My name is Alex, and the embargo for Gotham Knights is finally up, at least for the preview version. Now, of course, my channel is way too small to actually get invited to test out the game, so what I did was take pretty much all the free time I had today and just comb through all the footage that everybody's been putting out, listening to people's opinions, how they feel about the game, some issues that they've been having, some issues that we kind of foresaw ahead of time. But I think all in all, we're actually looking pretty good. Now, the game doesn't look like it's going to be perfect by any means, and some of the biggest issues people have been having with the game is that the combat feels a little bit too floaty, and that, it doesn't feel as impactful and like have that vicious feel to it, kind of like the Arkham games. And I can see a little bit of that in the gameplay that I've been watching. It does seem like your character, kind of glides around, but that was also in Arkham as well. Like your character would slide towards enemies when you, point the stick in their direction. And another thing is that sometimes the characters take too long to die when you're beating up on them. And my counterpoint to that is something that I've been saying for a while now, and that is that this game is an RPG first and it's an action game second. So I know that's probably going to throw off a lot of people. They're going to come in expecting to, run through enemies like they did in like the Arkham games, but this game is not like Arkham. You're going to have to, learn your characters. You're going to have to get good at, countering and stuff like that. You're going to have to make a build. And Red Hood, for example, inside of his skill tree, there's things that you have to worry about like crit chance and crit damage. So this is definitely not just a pick up and play. You're going to have to invest a little bit in your characters to actually, put work in. Otherwise, you're probably going to end up like not doing any damage, at least on like higher difficulty activities and stuff like that. So that is also something to think about if you're still on the fence about this game. Now, there was really only two big things that kind of pulled me out the experience a little bit. Besides that, everything was pretty much how I expected it to be. And one of those things was the bikes. Like driving on the bikes, it seems super awkward. Like I didn't get to play it, but just watching it, it doesn't seem very intuitive. Like it looks kind of clunky, but I guess that's fine if you're just using it to get from point A to B. As long as there's like no driving missions and stuff like that, I guess it's fine, because I feel like most people are just going to be, flying around the city using their like traversal mechanic and everything like that. And the other thing was pretty much the thing I've been kind of worried about this entire time, and that's the attack indicators coming off the enemies. I don't know why this irks me so much, but seeing like those little white and red circles kind of throws me off. I feel like they could have done that a little bit better. Maybe in an update they can adjust that. I think something more along the lines of, whatever limb the enemy is attacking you with, maybe have it light up, like glow faintly a little bit, instead of having, a whole bunch of circles swinging towards you. I think it would be a little bit more immersive if you just kind of made it a little bit more subtle. And that's pretty much it for the things that kind of irked me so far. Everything else I pretty much expected, and there were some things that stood out to me a lot and kind of got me a little bit more hyped. And one of those things is actually the character animations. These are some clean animations, man. I don't know if you guys like took the time to pay attention to them, but Nightwing's animations are actually pretty dope. But the big surprise here is Robin. Like there hasn't been a whole lot of Robin footage, but Robin has some clean animations, man. Like Red Hood is hands down gonna be my main, but I think Robin might be my secondary. And speaking of Red Hood, my boy is still a savage. I know people been kind of, they've been doubting my boy, but look at this footage here. He actually strangled this guy like with his bare hands, and I love it. I actually laughed out loud when I saw this, and I thought it was pretty dope. And speaking about having a secondary character, I thought about something while I was watching this footage, and I think they missed out on a huge opportunity with this game, and I want to kind of see where they go with this in the future. But watching the people, do co-op in this game, which is only 2-player co-op, I thought it was 4-player co-op for like well over a year. I don't know why I thought that. It was just stuck in my brain that way. But seeing that this game was only 2-player co-op, they absolutely could have made a super dope single player game and just have your partner be AI controlled, kind of like how Atreus is in God of War. I feel like that would have fit in super well with this game. I feel like they could have executed that pretty well. God of War pretty much set the template to having like your own little sidekick. And the entire time I was watching footage of this game, I was like, man, I just couldn't stop thinking about that. I don't know why, it was just stuck in my brain, but I feel like they missed an opportunity with that for sure. And maybe like in a sequel they'll do something like that, who knows. Now there were also a couple things that I saw from like the combat that had me super excited, and that's the fact that we actually learned what all of the elements are in the game. So if you didn't know, we're going to be able to apply status effects on the enemies, and so far I believe we have 5 elements, and one's going to be lightning, then we have toxic, then we have fire, and then we have ice, and then we also have concussive. And I wasn't able to find out exactly what all of these do, but apparently like the ice and the lightning kind of like freezes you or stuns you depending on which one you're using, of course. And then the toxic and the fire is, I guess, damage over time. And the concussive, I'm guessing that kind of knocks you down, or maybe that's also another stun. I wasn't able to find out, so I'm not entirely sure. And something else that I thought was pretty cool was how much you can actually customize your character, and I believe your bike as well. Now, I didn't know that you were going to be able to like change the colors on everything, so that kind of, you know, changes the game a little bit, because whenever there's a chance for me to, you know, change what my character is wearing in a game, I literally change gear like every day. I change how my character looks. I have OCD like that. I don't know why I have to, but the fact that there's a lot of options to actually customize your heroes, I think that's pretty dope. Also, something else that I'm really glad that they're doing is keeping the story mode on lock. Like, they let people, you know, play up to the Harley Quinn boss battle, but I'm pretty sure the rest of the game is just locked off to everybody. And they were just allowing people to, you know, play in different, I guess, save files is how they were doing. They were giving you a save file you could use or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. So they are really trying to keep us from figuring out what is going on in the story. They're trying to keep Batman's death under wraps, so they're trying to keep us on our toes. And also, if you're interested in actually hearing about the Court of Owls, the main villain of the story, or the main, I guess, group we're going up against, I did a video breaking down the Court of Owls. I'll link that above. Those guys are actually kind of insane, so make sure to check that one out. And I gotta say, like, probably the thing that has me the most excited about this game is that you actually have to make a build. You want to be able to, you know, button mash your way through. And speaking of button mashing, you actually benefit more from timing your button presses. I guess that helps you build more meter to, you know, do your special moves more. So I like that there's a little bit of a skill gap, you know, that takes some time to actually master the characters that you're playing before you move on. And all the characters seem to play pretty similarly, but they also have their differences, and I think the differences are enough to like where you have to actually put the time in to learn new characters. And I think that's pretty dope. I like the direction they're going with this game. I know it's not for everybody. It's definitely not going to be one of those revolutionary games that people are going to be talking about for years to come, but I do think this game is going to be a good game. I don't think it's going to be like a 10 out of 10. I would probably give it, from what I've seen, it's probably going to end up in that like 7.5-ish, you know, tier. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's still a good game. That's still, you know, a decent game. There's nothing wrong with being like a 7, 7.5, 8. And the story itself seems to be pretty decent from what people have been saying, you know, from what they've seen with the whole interactions between the characters. And all in all, I'm definitely a little bit more hyped about this game than I was before. I'm still not, you know, gonna let myself jump on the hype train and go all extra crazy and just say it's gonna be the best game ever, because we won't actually know until we get our, you know, own hands on the game. We're able to play it, we're able to test it, and give you guys feedback and get feedback from you guys. So if you're still on the fence about this game, I absolutely understand how you feel. I would just hold off on getting it, hold off on pre-order and all that stuff. Find some YouTubers that cover this game specifically if you're, you know, interested in playing it, and just listen to see what they have to say, because you can listen to, like, you know, some of the bigger channels, but they usually don't focus on one game for too long. So if you're actually looking to, you know, put a whole lot of time into this game, find content creators that are going to be doing the same thing, because if you go to like some of the bigger channels, they're going to play the game for like a week, 2 weeks maybe, and then they're going to move on to the next. You know, that's just how the cycle goes. It is what it is. But I'll be doing my best when the game actually launches to showcase some cool builds, showcase the characters, show them off at their max potential and stuff like that. So if that sounds like something you like, make sure you subscribe to the channel, come back and check it out. And that's all I got for you guys today, man. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that shenanigans, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.